नमस्कार दोस्तों, स्वागत है आपका की न्यूज़ 24/7 में। तो चलिए देखते हैं आज की हेडलाइंस। चंद्रयान 3 लॉन्च न्यूज़। ISRO plans soft landing on August 23. Payloads RAMBHA ILSA to help understand moon better. India's third moon mission, Chandrayaan-3, was successfully launched on board a launch vehicle Mark 3 LVM-3 rocket from the second launch pad at the Satish Dhawan Space Center in Sriharikota at 2:35 p.m. on July 14. This is India's second attempt at soft landing robotic instrument on the lunar surface after the previous attempt, Chandrayaan-2, failed in 2019. Thus far, only 3 countries, the US, Russia and China, have successfully soft landed on the moon. Speaking to the reporters after the successful launch, ISRO Chairman S. Somnath said the next 42 days are crucial. As per the nominal program, we will have 5 earthbound maneuvers that will end on July 31. After that, we have the trans-lunar insertion which will take place on August 1. After that, it will be captured by the moon. This will be followed by separation of the propulsion module and the lander module on August 17. Eknath Shinde says he has support of 220 MLAs, says Ajit Pawar-led NCP faction's inclusion necessary for certain political equations, remarking that all speculation about the ruling Shiv Sena BJP government collapsing had provided false. Maharashtra Chief Minister Eknath Shinde on Friday claimed his government had the support of 220 of the 288 legislature in the Maharashtra Assembly. Addressing a rally of his Sena faction in Kolhapur district, Mr. Shinde defended the inclusion of the Ajit Pawar-led Nationalist Congress Party faction on ground that it was necessary for certain political equations. Many of you are thinking that what was the need to take Mr. Ajit Pawar's NCP group on board when our BJP Shinde Sena government was doing fine. But we have to work out certain political equations, but do not let this worry you. Ever since our government completed 1 year, we have been hearing rumors that it will collapse. Instead, today I have the support of 220 MLAs, said the CM. No discussion on politics. No discussion on politics, says Ajit Pawar on meeting with Sharad Pawar. Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister Ajit Pawar on Saturday said that there was no discussion on politics when he met his uncle and Nationalist Congress Party NCP Chief Sharad Pawar, against whom he and 8 other MLAs revolted, leaving a vertical split in the party on Friday. Sharad Pawar's wife Pratibha Pawar underwent a surgery related to hand at the Bench Candy Hospital in South Mumbai on Friday. After the operation, Ajit Pawar visited Silver Oak, the official residence of NCP Supremo, to meet Pratibha Pawar after she was discharged from hospital. Hafta 441. West Bengal political violence missed signs of flood, climate volatility. This week on NH Hafta News Laundries, Abhinandan Shekhri, Manisha Pandey, Raman Kirpal and Shardul Katyan are joined by senior journalist Mondeepa Banerjee on the violence brewing in West Bengal in the run-up to the Panchayat elections, and during polling the panel deconstruct the cultural of violence that was existed in the state. They dwell into what makes West Bengal and its history more porous to such political strife. Manisha questioned whether this violence is a left legacy or just Bengal in essence. The panel also discusses the instrumental role of rural politics in the big picture. The discussion then stirs to the sign we missed in the build-up to the current flood across Delhi, Punjab, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Why is urban planning to impede at accommodating the population? Asked Shardul. The conversation then moves on to the irony presented to us, courtesy of the violent climate, and how none of us are ready to meet the El Nino mother load. This and a lot more, tune in. Flood is a natural calamity. Politics should not be done on it. Haryana CM Cuttack on AAP claims. The release of water from the Hathani Kund barrage in Haryana is being blamed for the flood in numerous parts of Delhi by the Aam Aadmi Party-led government. Addressing the same, Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar said politics should not be done on a natural calamity like a flood. The flood is a natural calamity and politics should not be done on it. We cannot control water in the barrage. Water will automatically release from the barrage once it crosses the limit. Yamuna had 1 lakh cuses of water which suddenly increased to 3.70 lakh cuses the next day. As far as the release of water is concerned, we have told Arvind Kejriwal that we cannot control a limited amount of water in the barrage, he said. Rain lashes parts of Odisha, waterlogging in Bhubaneswar and Cuttack. Heavy rains lashed many parts of Odisha, mostly the coastal region, leading to waterlogging in twin cities of Bhubaneswar and Cuttack on Saturday. The IMD had forecast more rainfall in the state. The waterlogging in the state capital led to traffic jams and caused difficulty for people to drive vehicles in knee-deep water in many places, while many slums and low-lying areas were submerged underwater. IMD said that the highest 118.4 mm rainfall was recorded at Jharsuguda, followed by 68.2 mm at Chandbali, 35.2 mm in Bhubaneswar, 13.5 mm in Baleshwar, 6 mm in Paradip, 7.2 mm in Puri, and 10.6 mm at Sambalpur between 8:30 am to 11:30 am. Similarly, the IMD record said that intense rainfall activities were observed in many areas before 8:30 am. Bhubaneswar and Cuttack recorded 14.7 mm and 41.8 mm of rainfall, respectively, by 8:30 am, it said. PMAYG state gets additional allocation of 1.44 lakh houses. Uttar Pradesh has got an additional target of rupees 1,44,220 houses to be constructed under the Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin in the current fiscal, taking the overall target of the houses allocated to the state under the Awas plus this to 21,68,674. The construction work is to be finished by March 2024. The Union Rural Development Minister Friday sent a letter to the Uttar Pradesh Rural Development Department informing our allocation of the additional target. Kicked off in 2016, the PMAYG aimed to assist eligible rural households to construct Pakka houses with basic amenities. The initial target was to construct 2.95 crore Pakka houses by March 2024. Officials said initially the identification of beneficiaries under the scheme was done based on the socio-economic caste census (SECC) 2011. The government in 2019 decided to conduct an Awas Plus survey to accommodate eligible beneficiaries left out by previous survey. Delhi weather update. Moderate rain likely in national capital. Delhi recorded a minimum temperature of 27 degrees Celsius on Saturday with moderate rain expected during the day, according to the Indian Meteorological Department (IMD). The weather department has issued a yellow alert for rains in the national capital, which is facing unprecedented flooding due to the Yamuna in the city breaching its bank following days of heavy rains in the upper catchment areas. A yellow alert indicates bad weather conditions which might change for the worse, disrupting daily activities. The rains could lead to a rise in the water levels of the Yamuna, which has been flowing above the danger mark of 205.33 meter for days now. According to the Central Water Commission, the Yamuna's water level came down to 207.62 meters by 7 am on Saturday from its peak of 208.66 meter at 8 pm on Thursday. The relative humidity in Delhi was 85% at 8:30 pm. The maximum temperature in the city is likely to settle around 33 degrees Celsius, the IMD said. Why McDonald's dropped tomatoes from Indian menu? The conundrum over the tomato in India right now is not whether it's a fruit or a vegetable. It's that it has become expensive and ridiculously so. The price of the everyday staple has been climbing steeply for the past couple of weeks and now stands at most 200 rupees, 2.3 a kilo in certain parts of India, a sharp shift from the usual 40 to 50 rupees. The costly tomato has wreaked havoc on wallets in kitchen and even on the streets. McDonald's recently made news not for adding a new dish but dropping tomatoes from its menu in most of its outlets in northern and eastern India. It cited the unavailability of quality tomatoes due to seasonal crop issue as the reason. The skyrocketing prices have been particularly hard on India's middle and lower classes who make up the bulk of the population. In the western city of Pune, a vegetable seller allegedly smacked a customer in the face with a weighing scale for bickering over the price of 250 gram of tomato. Reuters World News Summary. The rivers level were at their highest in 45 years this week following unusually heavy rainfall in New Delhi and hilly northern states, forcing the evacuation of hundreds of people as the Yamuna, which runs through the city, breached its bank. US, Japan, Korean missile launch in joint statement. North Korea's firing of an intercontinental ballistic missile ICBM this week violates multiple UN resolutions and threatens peace and stability in the region. The United States, South Korea, and Japan said on Friday in a joint statement condemning the launch. Following is a summary of current world news brief. UN waits for Russia's answer as Black Sea grain deal deadline looms. United Nations Secretary General Antonio Guterres is still waiting for a response from Russian President Vladimir Putin on a proposal to extend a deal allowing the same Black Sea export of Ukrainian grain beyond Monday, a UN spokesperson said on Friday. Guterres wrote to Putin on Tuesday asking him to extend the Black Sea deal in return for connecting a subsidiary of Russia's agricultural bank Roselkhozbank to the international payment system SWIFT, sources told Reuters. Coca price crash contributing to Colombia food insecurity UN. A crash in the price of coca, the chief ingredient in the cocaine, is contributing to food insecurity in Colombia and causing displacement, as people leave areas that depend on the illicit crop, according to an internal United Nations presentation seen by Reuters. Historically, coca crops have provided better incomes than legal alternatives for thousands of rural Colombian families, with drug trafficking groups often footing the cost of transport, fertilizers, and other supplies. Navin Patnaik announces projects eyeing Western Odisha development ahead of polls. The Navin Patnaik government appears to be in a tearing hurry in announcing projects which are likely to touch lives directly, as the regional party is preparing to face both assembly and general election in a year. Mr. Patnaik has declared to build 2,000 meeting halls as part of the Mukhyamantri Sabhagruha scheme in Western Odisha, which is known to be a stronghold of the Bharatiya Janata Party. The assembly halls, which are part of the state's 5T initiative, would significantly enhance the social and cultural life of Western Odisha region, said Odisha CM. He inaugurated laid the foundation stone of several projects, 33.58 crore. Mr. Patnaik said he had always paid particular attention to the development of Western Odisha. The budget for the Western Odisha Development Council has doubled, and the council should take up more programs in constitution with people's representative, he advised. PM Modi UAE visit latest update. PM expresses gratitude for warm hospitality. Concludes productive UAE visit. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Saturday concluded productive visit to UAE at the invitation of UAE President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan. Our nations are working together on so many issues aimed at making our planet better. I thank Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed Al Nahyan for the warm hospitality, he said. PM Modi expressed India's deep regard for the UAE during talks with UAE President and said our bilateral trade has risen by 20%. We have achieved $85 billion of trade, and soon we will achieve the target of $100 billion. The Prime Minister acknowledged the UAE President's respect and warmth, equating it to the affection shared between brothers. We, India and UAE signed historic agreements within 3 months which would not have been possible without your cooperation and commitment, he said. Additionally, he announced his decision to attend the upcoming COP28 summit in the UAE. ऐसे ही और न्यूज़ को जानने के लिए जुड़े रहिए के न्यूज़ 24/7 के साथ.